Number 1 executes once. Our variable initialization of a for loop will only execute once at the beginning of our loop. Our condition, or number 2, will execute just like while loops work, meaning this condition will execute every single time the loop is looped over. Once the condition is false, the loop stops looping. It's the action that I think confuses most people. Number 4 is actually appended to the end of the loop. As we can see up here on line 12, we're doing index plus plus. Well, on the for loop, we're specifying that at the top. But in reality, this code actually gets injected at the bottom of the loop, meaning index 2 is only incremented once our code runs. So then we have our code, which is number 3. And that's the most important aspect of a loop. Again, if you have a loop that doesn't have any code in it, there's no really real reason to have a loop in the first place. So all you do with for loops is it provides a cleaner way to write common looping scenarios. I mean, what if we wanted to write a loop that started at 0 and counted up by 25s until it hits 100? Well, we can write that. For int index 3 equals 0, index 3 is smaller or equal to 100, index 3 plus equals 25. Zero, 25, 50, 75, 100. Again, I really encourage people to write this code out and help them solidify their understanding of the syntax. How's everyone doing with for loops? Because I remember when I was learning programming, for loops were kind of confusing just because you have to know which parts of them execute at what point. The variable initialization only executes once. The condition executes before each iteration of the loop, and the action executes at the end of the loop. And I think that's the biggest thing that people get confused about and the biggest thing to understand. But if you ever have any doubt about what you're exactly doing with a for loop, just look at this diagram and match up these numbers with these numbers and see how it relates to a simpler loop, a while loop. Because a while loop is the simplest loop that you can possibly have. The thing with the while loop, though, is they become very verbose when you do common things like incrementing an index variable by 1.